Delay is off. Alright, chat. We're back. We're back. We're happy. Alright, you guys want it full screen? Like this? Bag it miffed. Quick step 5 I've seen? Yeah. This is good. TSM's playing backline. The thing that TSM doesn't have right now is vertical play, right? So they need to retake now. I think that's a mistake. Oh, they have vertical play. Bolo's up there. Keep going, Bolo. Don't go backwards. 2v3 retake, 3v1 retake now. Hyper's in top position. If anybody's too clutch, it's Hyper though. Stick and diffuse, long arm. Diffuse the bomb. We got it. So they actually had vertical control, I guess. But they didn't have holes to deny default plant. I don't know if Bolo had a C4, but he had a deagle if anything. I think it kind of comes down to, again, that TSM doesn't know where they're planning necessarily. They're not running a whole lot of information. And they have a lot of tools. Like, they have... Because the thing is, where you want to punish Dark Zero right now, in my opinion, is that they don't run any soft destruction. They literally have Sophia, that's it. They have 2 Claymores. We spoke about this already. 2 Claymores, 1 breaching charge, or 3 of them, 1 set. And they have 6 flashbangs. Right? If you play Bulletproof, if you play Wamai, if you play Maestro... Right? Right now they're not playing IQ. If you play the fucking Valkyrie or the Echo, if you play Shields, they can't kill them. Now they have Sophia and Sledge, right? But they go off the Thatcher. You gotta have info somehow. Because they've been running Buck the entire game so far. Now they're going Sledge. And they got the Sophia. Increase volume and change title. I changed title. I can give you more volume.
He's not going to be able to hard hold the bomb site itself. Not going to be easy for him to retake in that scenario through the
activated windows. I can't, dude. I can't. Don't hate. Don't hate. I'm poor.
Actually, masterfully goes to the last place Hyper.
So volume up further, like this.
You can see Hyper check red.
Is this better?
Started getting shot. He checked brown stairs, and then where was Bolo? He's in the site. He came down from white stairs. The last place again. Hyper was.
Can I further up, chat?
So I think he just had a masterful round, and you know I don't
how do you get the charm? All you gotta do is sub Mohammed.
We're talking about Bolo, but
volume up further.
Darn man, he didn't
good.
Really clutch that one up.
It's good. More.
Also erased our cellist.
Like that?
I don't believe he's broken double digits officially. I think he'd be at 9 kills if I remember correctly.
Better.
More impactless. Let's get that.
Better. More.
I think he got 2 or 3 kills.
More.
That one round where they still lost. And
it's good. Okay.
Honestly, your KD isn't the be-all, end-all. Depends on your role. Depends on how big you're coming up in rounds here. There really hasn't been a poor performer, I would say, for either of these teams up until this point.
It's good. Got it.
Eclipse has been a little quieter than we.
Min is playing the Blitz again here, which is interesting. I wouldn't necessarily say that the Monty and the Blitz, or that the Monty and the Blitz. I wouldn't necessarily say that Shield has been working out for him, but I do think that it brings a lot of like valuable tools. Like you get the smoke grenades, you can like skip drone a little bit more, you can push more. What up, Spoit? Turn it all the way up, bro.
And then suddenly they come alive. You know, the one thing to consider is that every
6
single
consoles,
player in this
10
lobby
computers,
is
yeah.
deserving of being here.
How many
That's
more
why
operators
they
needed to
are
be
here.
added into the
It's not
game
as
for
if
both
DZ
teams to
or
get another
TSM have
ban?
these low
Honestly,
standards
ban.
where
I
they
think
just
we're
let
very, very
anybody play
close
for
to
them.
adding another set of bans.
There
Because
is
right now in
a lot
defense,
that
right?
goes into
Bans you
someone
can
getting
do
to this
Wamai,
point.
Goyo, Maestro,
And I
Echo,
think it
Valkyrie,
was,
Melusi.
part of
That's
the
6
note that
different
was touched
bans. You
on
can only get 2 of
in
them.
in Veli's
On
coach
attack,
segment.
it's not as
Aggressive
relevant. There's
peek
not
there
that
from
many good
Bolo. He'll
attackers
lose
that
a
are
lot of
bannable.
HP as a
You can ban a
result.
Heart Breacher,
A little bit
Thatcher,
in
Monty,
turn.
and you can like
I
specific
believe
target
hot
bans.
and
But
cold, but
I
really
definitely think we can add another defense
strong
ban.
favor
I
there
don't
to
really know
DZ.
about attack just yet.
TSM
To be
might
fair.
think that the walls are starting to close in on them here as they are defending that same reading dining bomb
Golo is
site
quite literally
on the
like
very
fucking
final
10 health
before
here,
these
which is
teams
tough.
swap sides, and this is
The thing about the Monty on White Stairs is that White Stairs is kind of like that area, right? If you walk down, you get double crossfire and you can't really do anything. So ideally, you would actually want the Monty to push elsewhere, unless you get Garrett's control, walk up Garrett and take the control that way. And that could actually be the Monty himself doing it, because you can just walk up without a drone, with a gun behind him, like Sledge with SMG-11, and you can just take Zulu control, which is like top white, and then you can allow yourself to walk into dining and plant that way.
He's also
You can also set up for a B take, which would require pillars control, and then just vertical play. And that's kind of what they're doing. Vertical play here is actually quite good. And that's exactly what they're going to go for. The needed guy on that launcher has to deny the smokes and C4s, but other than that, it's good. Money's going to walk down wide probably and take the distraction. Mercs gets an important kill but gets refragged on it. Shala hits an important C4, takes out the planter. This is super good with TSM actually right now. And a knife kill. Chala is popping off right now, dude. I think Chala is literally sitting on like 11 kills right now. Maybe 12. Bolo should get free kill here. Nice Bolo. The Chief gets him, never mind. JK. There you go. They take the win. Pengu can't make a win. So you see, the issue with the plant position there is that they didn't have anyone on the laundry hatch. Or the vertical play on the laundry. And the plan that got C4'd, if that C4 didn't connect, they had everything else covered. Because Merc got a kill, he got traded instantly from Heaven Hatch. That's fine, the flank is covered. What happens next? Chala rips the C4, tosses it, kills Halton on the plant on default. That's not good. And this is where the Monty becomes useless. The Monty is literally on white stairs, jerking off, doing fuck all while this is happening. You don't really do a whole lot. So what you want to do is either go off the Monty, or you take the Monty and you push. Because the Monty is just standing there, distracting people. But this is TSM, they don't give a shit, they're just gonna fucking run at you and just kill you. Right? So generally speaking, get off the shield. Or start using it with the push.
We'll see.
We got 2 viewers? Yeah, it's a viewer party, dude. Just 2 people.
Hard destruction again, gonna be such a massive factor.
It's interesting to note, Hyper is double reinforcing off Prep, which means they're also double reinforcing off Bakery, which we see that they are indeed confirmed. So it's gonna be more a turtle or roam oriented strat. They got Mossy and Vigil, so it could be an early roam into a turtle, and they got the bandit. So this is looking like a pretty good. Interesting.
This is suggesting a roam.
It is suggesting a roam like Kixstar said, but the hatch is reinforced. So it's not your typical roam where you run around, you know, you drop. This is probably gonna morph like we're gonna stay second floor and play in passive areas like dining, top wide, and then library, because the double walls and library are reinforced. Typically you want to have dining hatch open, roam around with Vigil, Mossy, Mute or whatever, buy some time, kill some drones, then drop the hatch, and now you've gotten all your men back on site for a 5v5. But instead, they're reinforcing of the hatch, which is quite interesting. TSM knows what's happening, they know it's a turtle strat. They don't necessarily know about the bandit being there actively, but they do know that they are having a presence with the most individual. They should know that they're roaming. Going for a pre-direct first or take with main door Bakery. I think Merc is just waiting, honestly. He's gonna bid his time, look for the opening, then come in on the flank. GU has now droned this 3 times in a row, so it should be clear from their knowledge. Should be. Sometimes when I drone, I miss people. I say it's clear, and then my teammates die. And they go, ping, what the f. And I say, not my fault. You should open your eyes and find him yourself. So you see, TSM isn't really pressuring the roam game at all right now. They are just going top floor at 1 minute 45 left. Meanwhile, Merc is like solo in shoes. So they don't really have a whole lot of map control yet. I mean, half the round is over. Merc pretty much has to get an opening, or the roam clear has to get sped up, because they're getting choked out on time from every angle right now.
If you haven't been here, this is map number 1 for play. But Dark Zero get that auto map victory.
Thing is, the mute should know that Merc is in here. He should know what that drone being spotted. And it does appear that he's holding the angle, so he does know. Mute and Smoke can double peek off. Yeah, you see?
So much work from here. Skies is probing. It seems like
Merc is in. Skies should white peek with the mute here together. No, they didn't go for it. I would have gone for it. They are 5v5, but they don't need to. But killing Merc here would basically like secure the round 100%. It's the only control that he has.
Open up some holes. Chala will get a clip, so Mozzie done.
Yeah, they go. Merc is dead. They probably double peeked him. Oh, just did a good shot. Yeah, so yeah, Kixstar rotated to main, and then mid peek long disc, and they got the kill. That's huge.
Time left for the attack to hit the site, and they haven't really
big kill, big kill.
As I think they'd hoped they had.
So now it's 4v4, and TSM are all in Bakery. They got 38 seconds left. They have barely
That'll allow
breached.
them, I think, a little bit easier
They
access to
can't.
this
I mean, they
tiny
can go
Golden
in from this breach. It's not pretty, but they can do it, I believe. If Hoden has a C4, which he does not, so they have 2 smokes, 1 C4, snipe plant. Hoden in a great position here. Sky's in an even better position. If Hoden doesn't die to a nade here, he's gonna get so much for his team. He is spotted out, so they do know about it, but still.
The first line of defense. But right now, TSM just bursts on in. They get so
Winnable?
many kills, but Pistol is gonna clutch.
Nice. I told you, if Hoden doesn't get naded, he's gonna win the round. It's such a strong position. Because you can crouch, you can juke the angle, you can pick your gunfights 1 versus 1. If he had a C4, even better.
A moment for hot and cold. The man who they say his name speaks for itself. At this moment, he was certainly hot. And jeez,
it's hot, not Hoden. It's Hoden. It's Hoden for sure. That's I can only call him Hoden because we're tight like that, you know.
Kafe has been hot and cold's best map.
It's Hoden
since before it got.
Thank you, Moist.
Like I don't know what it is about Hotten on this map. Even again,
Kixstar calls him Hotten, like hot N.
We're talking first.
We're calling him a Hoden, dude.
I don't know why he just
definitely Hoden.
Well here. Hot and cold always plays well.
Didn't realize DC played without Jaeger. It's actually quite normal to play that kind of strat without the Jaeger, because you can't really fit the Jaeger in your lineup. If you want to play like the Vigil and the Mossy for like drone deny and roaming, but you also want to play like the Bandit for side, the Mute for side, and the Smoke for bomb deny, you can't really play the Jaeger. But at the same time, think about it, you're not really that much in static positions. Your roamers moving around, your side players are relatively safe, except for Hoden, who's like playing in Pasta or Sushi. But also, TSM did like same with like Mint or with the Dark Zero. They don't bring a whole lot of, you know, nades. They have 1 set. They just have the sledge. And I think they only had 1 nade for the execute. So if you just get a little bit lucky, you should be fine.
Of the same mind, Michael.
Was that back when was it Flipside back then?
When I say there are 2 viewers, I only have 2 viewers. I'm a small streamer. That's why I very much appreciate you guys for watching the stream, hanging out, and then maybe tomorrow or maybe the day after tomorrow we can push for 3 viewers, and then slowly but surely we're getting our farm kind of built up from the ground with all the chickens in the pen.
That's a
you know.
small pocket of history there.
Homeless, and then
Hyper is doing a Pengu play. This is a Pengu play right here. So the question is, Hoden might not have seen the drone. He did. Okay. I was trying to say, he might not have seen the drone because of the client side of debris. And that could have decided whether he was going to get peeked there by Sledge or not. Good effort. Gets the drone for free. 9 code drones left. If anything, maybe less. Thank you, Sean M, for this up, sir. I think it is good to challenge early and get some drone presence. I like what Iber is doing here. Buying time, killing drones. You see how scared TSM is? They don't know where he is. They don't know where he's gone. They need to respect the fact that he played aggro in the beginning.
Certain teams, it can be varying. Sometimes it amps you up and makes you want to
go. So Hyper doing very little, but gaining a lot. Being very proactive, basically. Checking for the flank drone, that's very wise. I would also like if he made a punch hole, a bullet hole in that wall right behind him and see if the drone is actually in the window. Because that's also not a typical spot for the flank drone to be. Just check out both the corners. My stream quality just got downgraded. Oh, there we go. We're back on the HD. Feels good.
Whatever that mindset happens to be for the respective match.
So, TSM. Half the round is over. We haven't gotten very far. We're still in Cigar. We still got 1 minute to deal with this shield and cocktail. Thing is, Mint is playing red dot, so he's probably gonna die very soon. Because... oh, he dropped. He would have died if he didn't. That's because of the red dot. Now we're gonna do vertical play. This is just like when Dark Zero attacked. We're gonna do vertical play. We're gonna take control. We're gonna find some frags from Merge and Bolo. I guess one of them was on white and one was vertical, if that's a guess.
Very early and very quick picks.
Fairly certain that Mint, the Wamai, tried to retake white here and died from it. Very common play. Hoden gets the retake somehow and gets dunned and domed. White retake is happening. A little bit sloppy there from Geo. There isn't no one on the white staircase, but only at the very TVT top. I think the funny thing here to note actually is that if you remember a few rounds ago when Dark Zero attacked this very bomb site, TSM was sitting still in corners, not really...
What a clutch from Hyper! In pillars, he spent the entire part of the round.
TSM won the round.
And it pays off.
They literally won the round, but then they lost the round. They just had to drop the hatch. Oh goodness Christ!
I can say about Hyper in that moment is he had the patience that none other on his team
okay, my point was,
or no other rather. He played in
my point was
for the majority of the round and was a thorn in
God
the
damn it,
side
dude!
of his
They had that. They literally had that.
throughout
The point is, when
round.
TSM was
There
sitting on
many
that bomb
options
side,
for Hyper there. He could have peeked
they just sat in
wide,
corners,
pillars, he
playing
could have
pretty
positioned
passively, right? In Dark Zero, they just walked in the door and planted the guts forward. You know the story. Merc flanked, but that was really it. When Dark Zero was playing that bomb side, instead of sitting still like TSM did, they ran up white stairs twice. One of them, I think it was Skies, challenged the vertical play aggressively with the smoke, right? Your bomb denier. So they played extremely aggressive into the setup, whereas TSM did the opposite and just like kind of set their ground. And they both won, despite playing it very, very, very differently.
In the first half, and he was aware that his existence in pillars hindered that push, or rather even completely stopped that push cold in its tracks. So Hyper just
So Hoden got one clutch.
He never exposed
Hyper got another.
He only seized upon
The scoreline is 4. It could be 6-2 right now. It should be 6-2 right now. TSM winning Cafe is actually going to be a massive relief for them, because it is a best of 5. They did come from the loser bracket. They are down one map already, as you can tell, top left. If they lose Cafe, they're on match point. On map point rather. And that just applies a lot of pressure and a lot of stress. If they win Cafe, especially if they win it comfortably, like being 6-2 for example right now, they have room to make so many mistakes. But if they win or lose Cafe off these clutches from Dark Zero, they need to pull out fucking comeback of their life, because they have everything against them. That's tough.
He got the very first.
Who's casting? Kixstar and Interro.
And then I'm almost certain, whether it be Intel or whether it be Sounds, he knows that there's somebody above.
TSM is just losing advantages every round. TSM are actually gaining advantages every round, but they are losing while in the advantage, yes. TSM has played 4v5 and 5v3 2 rounds now. They've been in two good positions. Relatively good. But then the clutch comes out from Dark Zero in good shape and form. The EU Major is next weekend indeed. Chat is asking if it's ranked. Yeah, this is ranked, chat. It just happens to be 2 teams against each other. It's a complete coincidence. They're warming up for Pro League right now, actually. Thank you, Mr. Flex. Sees what's up.
DZ has not led since
oh, it's getting a lot of rain and terror free rain down here, dude. Not a whole lot of contesting from Dark Zero. I believe they do have a gun library, but yep. It's gonna be a cat and mouse game between Bolo and Min. The Jones haven't really seen him recently, but they did see him earlier. Now Min has to pick his fights. Do you fight pillars? Do you fight, you know, Sulu? Because he's very much stuck in that corner, and he is just a matter of time before he gets challenged. Bolo with the sprint in. The vertical did help as well, actually. Good vertical control. I think you just leave this guy below, honestly. I don't think it's necessarily worth to fuck around with. Not solo, at least. Achieved was there, but it's tough to kill the guy in there without like launcher control, but then there's the hatch that's open, so And Bolo kind of whiffed that. Like, he sprinted in hipfire, so I think Bolo expected Mint to be deep in the corner because he prone, but the same second Bolo pushed, Mint got off the prone and like white swung him back. And now Mint has created himself a very good position downstairs with a C4, which he has used at some point in life. I don't know when he did that.
But he'll lose the fight to Eclipse, rather trade with Eclipse, both of them landing their headshots. Now it's all on
it is a trade fest. 1 for 1 for 1 for 1.
Now it's all
for 1.
He'll get the initial entry to 1v1.
Merc?
Low HP on Merc. He has to rush with only 10 seconds left. No diffuser in hand. He has the stuns, but no time to use them. He goes for the push. This has got to be heard by Mint. With only 2 seconds left, all he needs to do is stay alive, and he'll do just that. Dark Zero.
Literally a 1 for 1 for 1 for 1 for 1. Every single time one team got a kill, the opposing team got a kill as well. Merc jumps in, kills the Maestro. Mint kills the fucking other guy.
For TSM, it was their entry onto that second floor. You pointed it out. The fact that Mint was not just able to get the kill on
the thing about that attack is that it kind of looked like they were going for a like white stairs take. But they didn't really do vertical. They never got library control. They never took it. They never really committed to it. But they were in the rap holes on the cocktail side where Miracle was. So I'm not entirely sure what the plan was there, but it seemed very desynced.
You are free and clear to head to red stairs and then ascend in that direction.
How does Maestro lose that gunfight? To be fair, when you rabble in a window, it's very 50-50. Sometimes when you rabble in, you have like you're lagging, you're teleporting, your hitbox is weird. Like on our screen, Merc didn't even shoot the Maestro, shooting like way above him because of the spectator when you go in with the wobble animation. Rappelling in a window is just a gamble. Either you're in a really good position as a rappeller or you're in a really bad position. If you're in a bad position, the Maestro will win. If you're in a good position, the Maestro will lose. That's typically how, in my opinion, that rappelling works in this game. That's why rappelling in is usually a loss, but sometimes, just sometimes you get lucky.
But they lost
and it happens.
Gunfights right off the hop, setting them at such a disadvantage that even a very strong strategy is not always enough.
Increase the Pro extreme volume. Do you guys want the volume louder?
Does take their third round.
I thought it was perfect, chat. That's what I was told earlier.
Touted how good they are in attack so far. They seem to be playing to the advantages that come with
one of the hundreds of reasons why this game is frustrating. Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, I thought so. It's good for me as well. Like when I don't talk, you should hear them pretty loudly.
Bakery extension? You don't see those a lot anymore.
Otherwise, you can't hear me. If we're the same volume, it's gonna be like a muffled clatter.
Like doing it. I love the confidence on Dark Zero. You have to have confidence to go for a play like this. Eclipse is going to be supporting.
What I want to see from Dark Zero now is that they keep up the aggression. I want to see Hyper keep. Oh. I want to see Hyper keep peeking the angles, keep denying drones, keep applying pressure to TSM. You don't want to give TSM the ground and comfortability now, right? You're up 5-4. You've clutched 2 rounds in a row. You're in a great position, 1 map advantage. Like you are composed and you are controlled, right? You don't want to start playing it safe. You gotta finish this game. You have so much risk to play with. Eclipse with an aggressive peek gets Merc. Harden gets achieved on the run back with the spray down. Alda goes brrr. 3 versus 5 with Bakery control. No nades on the side of TSM. No flashbangs left. Bakery is practically Fort Knox. Impossible to take. By all definition, I mean. Basically, this round is over. TSM can clutch it out, but oh my, dude, they gotta hit some nasty ass shots because they're in a shit position right now. Absolute shit position. Leashy mines and window jump-ins, double crossfire. Maestro Cam is still alive. Oma's in the door. Eclipse should not fall back in this position. They might make Maestro the sacrificial lamb and say, okay, if we lose Maestro, it's over. But look at this position. If Eclipse had stayed in prep, they could have swung with the Maestro and guaranteed the refrag. It's not a huge steal. Eclipse got a kill elsewhere, probably on the win on the waiting jump in from bench. Or Hyper got that kill. Actually, I don't know what kill Eclipse got there. But I definitely think that if Eclipse stayed in prep and could swing with the Maestro, it would probably be better. But either way, TSM shouldn't win that round. It doesn't really matter. Making Maestro the sacrificial lamb is not a bad idea by any means.
Like upsetting about it, unnerving, I think is the right word.
Somebody said Shadow Legacy reveal in 30 minutes. Yeah, I think they're doing it between maps, aren't they? Thank you, Real Ball Me, for the 2 times
have rallied back on this map. We go from 4-2 to 6-4. Now, of course, that's keeping in mind the fact that.
All right, TSM. This is where you 6-pick the Capital. Right here.
Cafe or double hard breacher ban on Cafe. This is a
or not
defender-sided map made
or not
defender-sided. So keep that in mind.
I feel like a Capital 6-pick here would be really good.
Seen the same ability to lock out attacking
maybe not the greatest bomb side for it because they won top and they won basement. Or the one reading, sorry, and the one basement.
This incarnation of
well, and they won top, right?
Wait. They play a very stifling style of play, and
I don't fucking know if they won top. Maybe they did win top. Yeah, they won all 3 actually, so they know it's mining.
A lot of people. I think
Capital is not the greatest one, but still, like, there's no one. You're struggling to get the openings. You're struggling to get like the turtle positions.
Space Station just played the game.
You get smoke grenades. You don't have that either. Because playing the Nomad, it doesn't really give you that much, right? Against Dark Zero. If you go straight Bakery, the Nomad doesn't give you a whole lot, right? If you're on the Rapples on cocktail attack, the Nomad again doesn't give you a whole lot because if you don't have the nades or don't have the Capital to kill the people on the bomb side, it doesn't matter what you're nomading. They don't need to retake the site. They already have it, right?
When confronted with the brainless.
See, if you can't gain the ground and they're not flanking you ever because you're fighting straight on, the Nomad just doesn't bring that much value.
The way that SSG
Because like they're not really in situations that Nomad gives them anything really.
Just North America, obviously.
Achieve's also very smart. He got the hatch from the south side of the hatch and then rotated down to get the red hatch, which is usually the right play to make because the C4 usually goes on the northwest corner.
Is that Dark Zero has forced every team to play their game. Barring a couple rounds and an odd, you know, half of a
Would you play on the 20th? We play BDS first. Second game of the day, I believe.
Everything that these teams
Thank you, Mr. Lelindo.
They are prepared. They are ready. They have obviously done their homework. These
Achieve getting no gunfights? I know. Achieve has already been getting slammed and clapped off the earth every round. I think he died cooking a grenade last round onto Bakery. That's what it looked like, at least.
Part of that, for me, or the way it seems, obviously I'm not on the team, but outside perspective here, Dark Zero seemed like they just decided they wanted to play their own game, if that makes sense. It seems like they are more confident in...
Again, TSM very slow on taking top floor control. 1 minute 30 left. They just got piano. Hatch is still not breached. They don't have cocktail control. They haven't even droned it yet. They haven't breached any walls yet. I think it's literally just Eclipse up top and no one else. I could be wrong. I think it's a one-man... It's a two-man hold. I guess one white stairs. Ava came up.
Set the tempo.
But you see, like, that's soft. You can run around. It's like, that's really great. Now you have cocktail control. They are playing white stairs and planks. They're stuck in corners and they already fall back. And yeah, Mint is stuck now. You can leverage these areas quite easily. You can also just hold him stuck. But I don't think the no Mint is there at all. Yeah, Kixstar it as well. Kind of unlucky Bolo didn't hold the angle because... Oh, now it's a timing game. Oh, Bolo, get off the... Bolo!
He might find the second. Yes, he will. Bolo doesn't get off cam.
Oh, and Mint is disgusting. Mint has single-handedly won these guys like 3 or 4 rounds this game so far.
Bad information on...
Really good timing on Mint. Like, that's not Bolo's mistake, but the second his teammate dies, Bolo should jump off that camera. I mean, the odds are that the first guy died and goes, I'm dead, you know? And then Bolo's not really gonna react because he doesn't know where from, because Bolo thought top floor was clear. They all thought it was clear. So it's probably just a really poor call. Instead of saying like cocktail, then Bolo will jump off the cam and fight the Jaeger, right? Instead, Bolo was in the cam the entire time, which is kind of tough.
This might end up being a quick one, Michael.
You know,
the thing is, that wasn't as clean of a victory as it looked because they had 3 clutches, right? Maybe even 4.
TSM didn't finish the first job before transitioning to the second job, and as a result...
Move your cam so I can see Mint fragging. Mint was fragging. Oh, but they had a rehost, so I don't know how many kills he got. There was a rehost halfway through.
I know, I get it. Why would he be there? But also...
Thank you, Cyrano.
You didn't even check. You didn't even try.
Like Han said, I'm sorry, this is GTEs, but it's not. Because if TSM didn't choke, they would have been 6-2 in round score. They were 4-4 after losing 2 1v4, 1v3 clutches. I think it was 2 1v3 clutches. They should have been 6-2, and then on match point. But instead it was 4-4, and then side change.
And honestly, those clutches that came out, the one from Hot and Cold and the other from Hyper, both of which were impressive.
Correct, Parker, and the last round from Mint as well. I would count as a clutch. Yeah, right, Parker. TSM did make some crucial mistakes there that allowed Dark Zero to clutch it up for sure. Thank you, number 1. Yeah, 2 1v3s, that's tough. And back-to-back as well. Alright, TSM. Now we gotta reset our minds, we gotta close our eyes, we gotta meditate, right? We gotta be like, okay, what do we want to do? We want to win. How do we get there? Well, it's very simple. We start from 0. This is the first map. This is the first round. We play our game. There's no pressure. There's no stress. This is the first map. This is the first round. Cafe didn't happen. We didn't lose those 2 1v3s back to back. We don't hate each other. I'm not blaming my teammates. I'm not blaming myself. First round, first map, start from there, right? That's pretty much how you want to approach it right now. If you don't, you're just gonna carry the tilt into the third map. It's map point, like you're in a bad spot. Very bad spot.